Alright, guys. I'm doing this reading because I am highly, highly disappointed in a reader who I thought was a light worker. And I don't care if they see this video and they get pissed off. We are light workers. We are never supposed to push for karmic side chicks to destroy marriages. We're in fact supposed to help people align with their true path, and then if they're supposed to be with this other person, it'll come together after the marriage ends. Not encourage people to purposely fucking sleep with married people. This pissed me off beyond belief. Okay? Like, and the fact she just kept going on and on and on and on and on about stay in it, go after it, push harder, like, because you will eventually win. But then she got to the end and it said that how the man had all this love for her, but I don't think she realized, she said that the man would choose his head over his heart, meaning he would not choose her in the end. So the ending would actually be with the side chick. But it was like she just kept pushing this narrative. And us as light workers are not supposed to do that. Why? Because we are supposed to stand in the light of God. And what does fucking God say? God says, what he's brought together, let no man bring asunder. Let no man come in between. And if they do, what is going to happen? They're going to have, what does it say? That they're going to be chastised. If you fuck around with a marriage, something that God has brought together, your ass is going to be in trouble. You're going to face karma. And it doesn't matter whether you face karma now or you face karma later. Because even in this reading, she kept talking about how that this man would still check in on his wife, and how he would still check in on her, and how she would always be worried that he would go back to his wife. Of course she fucking would. If you cheat with somebody, a cheater's punishment is to live for the rest of your life worried that the person that you cheated with or whatever is now going to cheat on you the same way. Why? Because that's what you fucking deserve. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you feel. We are supposed to be pushing the light. We are supposed to be pushing what's right. I fucking totally believe in twin flames. I feel I am one. But I will tell you right now, I would never fucking cheat on someone to be with a twin flame if I was married. Why? Because some people have self-worth. We are supposed to be guiding people to find their self-worth. People with self-worth say no. I'm not going to be a side chick. I'm not going to be the number one because I deserve to be the fucking only one. If you can't choose me, then you lose me. I'm sorry, this reading had like it was completely tailored wrong, to tell somebody something wrong, to do something wrong, which is not just wrong in the way that the cards were supposed to be read, but it was just wrong morally. We cannot tell people to go out and cheat on their husbands or their wives. If we can willingly do that and we can push for them to keep cheating, we don't need to be light workers, because we are not reading the cards based off of what God would tell us to do. We now are pushing a narrative that we just, I don't even know. I don't even know why you would tell somebody to cheat. Like, I don't. Because, like, I've been there and I've been cheated on and it fucking hurt. Guess what? That person was married for 6 years. I think 6 years. I don't know. It was a lot of years. And he was treated like shit, and that marriage ended. If we tell people to do the morally wrong things, we literally push those people into generational curses. We literally push those people into their karma, and we cannot do that as light workers. Like if Jesus was here right now, he would probably be fucking flipping this table. That's how I feel. That's how pissed off I am at this reading. Like it makes me want to flip all my card or flip her table of cards. Like what the fuck? We don't tell people to be fucking side chicks. Like who does that? Is this, like, in my mind, I'm like, is this person a side chick? I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know their life. But what I do know is that you don't tell people to cheat. If we are light workers, if we are coming on here and we are supposed to help the collective raise the vibration, we're not going to fucking do that by splitting up families. The way that we do that is we show the person who's on the outside their self-worth, that they deserve their own marriage, someone who chose only them and not someone who made them an option. And then we show the people who are in the marriages how to grow their fucking marriage, how to fix their problems, if it's even possible. And if it's not, and they separate, and then that guy goes to the female, then that's whatever. But we don't encourage people to purposely go in and fucking cheat with someone else on their partner. This seriously disappointed me. Out of all of the readings that I have heard in I don't know how many fucking years here on YouTube that I have been doing this, I don't know how many I have done that I have actually witnessed someone tell any sign at all to, yeah, go ahead and cheat. They'll eventually choose you. Yeah, you know why? Because the devil does not come as something evil and scary. He comes as everything that we want to tempt us. And what is that will tempt us? Something that we think looks better. Something that the grass is greener on the other side, but that's never the fucking case. If you're not happy in a marriage, leave it. Then find somebody else. Whoever hears that reading, I am seriously worried about. Because I think that if they listen to this woman's advice, they are literally going to go into like being a side chick for a really long time. And then eventually they're still going to have to be the side chick when this man goes back to help take care of his wife. And then this woman for the rest of her life is going to, if she follows this advice, going to be sitting there worried that when he goes back to his wife that he's probably sleeping with her, or that maybe one day she will take him back, because there's a big possibility it will happen. And I'm going to tell you right now that if a lot of times that if a wife has a chance and knows that someone was messing around on her, she'll get revenge right back. And who's to say that she won't? And it would only be her right, because that would clear the karmic debt if she decided to take it into her own hands. But if she left it up to God, you guys are the person on the outside is fucking screwed. And that is not what we are supposed to do as light workers here. We are supposed to help raise the vibration, not fucking destroy families and bring all of this pain upon it. Like, I couldn't believe what I heard. Like, I was like, is this seriously going on right now? Like, I feel like I'm watching that video where the girl's like, I'm the side chick, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say this right now so we can go across all of YouTube and everybody can hear it. If you cheat with somebody and they're married, you know that I want you to know that the wife or the husband that's in the marriage can actually sue you. Like, literally sue your ass for a lot of money. Like, a lot of money if you are the reason why a marriage breaks up. I don't know if you know that or not. I have known this for a while. If you cheat with somebody else and it ends that marriage, that person can then sue you because you destroyed their life. And then you could be paying for that for a really, really long time. Maybe whoever is going to have this happen, maybe that's what's going to happen to them. I don't know. But I do know that it is possible. So in my mind, whenever I hear that video of that girl saying, you know, I'm a side chick, blah, 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 like, do they realize they could fuck up their whole life, not just physically, but also monetarily? I don't know. But I think God is getting sick of this shit as it is. And as tired as most of us readers on YouTube are getting of fucking hearing the third party situation, we want to fucking move past it to get to something else. There's other readers on here fucking pushing it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I seriously feel like if anybody listens to that shit, they are going to reap so much karma. And not only that, this reader who is pushing this narrative will also have to reap that same karma. If she's pushing to cheat in a marriage, I have a feeling that one day when she gets married, her husband is going to do the same to her. And that scares the shit out of me too. Because even though I'm mad at this reader right now, like, I don't want this to happen to no one. No one. No one deserves to have that kind of pain. And for us as people who are supposed to be on here to be light workers, to help the collective, to push it, like, it fucking makes me want to cry right now. Like, it makes me disappointed in saying, yeah, I'm proud to be, you know, a part of the YouTube community, pushing, you know, trying to help the collective do better and to make better choices, and then to fucking log on and hear that shit. That's not okay. It is not a narrative okay to push. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're the hottest person in the world. It is not okay. If it is love, if it is meant to be, if it was God's will for this person to be with this other person, they would come together while neither one of them are married. That's where we send people to reap a karma that we would not wish upon our enemies. Well, I mean, some of you guys would. I mean, a lot of people probably would, but we don't want that. We don't want to push our collective towards that, because when they are hurting, are the tarot readers going to be there to actually sympathize for them? When every day that girl or that guy, whoever it is, that's going to go cheat and break up a marriage, when every single day that woman or man is sitting there wondering, are they going to go back to their old person? Are they going to cheat on me now? Because if they cheated with me, they'll cheat on me. Every day, are they going to be there to comfort that person? No, they won't. They won't. We cannot push something that is morally wrong. We can't do it. If it is meant to be, if it is God's will, then it will get to a point where they can be together without cheating. That's why we push divine timing. It's not we push, go ahead and cheat. Go, keep staying on it and make sure that this person leaves. No, it's not that. We don't do that. We don't push that. That's morally wrong. Literally, if we push that, that blood is on our hands. And I did not feel okay to not come on here and say that to somebody. I don't know who needs to hear this, but hopefully if you were told this or you heard this in a reading, I really want you to think. I really, really want you to think. Is it worth it to literally put yourself into karma's way? For someone who isn't making you the only one? Because if they start, if it's a man always start with the biggest thing that they will give you, and then they always pull back a little bit because they settle into who they actually are. But if making you an option is how he starts out, and that's the biggest thing he has to offer you, how do you think it's going to be when you're married to this man? When a side chick becomes the wife, that leaves open the spot for the side chick. Now, if they were just dating, if they were just talking, that's one thing. If they're married, if they've said their vows and it gets crossed over, that's a completely different story. Yeah, you can push, go ahead and go after this person and you'll win if they're dating. If they are just, they're not married, there's no attachment, and they are just dating multiple people. Yeah, go ahead and push that. Keep going. Stay in there. Fight the good fight. You'll win eventually. Yeah, because we're not pushing something that's unmoral. Something that literally hurts a family and fucking breaks a kid's heart. Because one, that automatically creates a generational curse, a pain that is within that child that was now left. Especially if the way that she was wording was, she got sad because he was going home to his wife, meaning they lived together. And then eventually the wife started to figure out something is off. That literally is pushing the narrative that it's okay to make another woman feel less than. It's not. I've been with a man who, the person that he was with last, who thought that we cheated, but we didn't, she still got her heart broke because, of course, obviously she cared about him, but that in itself made me feel like shit. I know I didn't cross the line. I made quadruple sure from day one, as I always do, because I've been put in this situation where I've been cheated on. And I always know that if someone will cheat with you, they will cheat on you. And you know what happened in that situation? Like, I felt bad. I felt bad for her. And so I was like, I'm not going to stop you from talking, whatever. And then eventually I got cheated on by with that same woman. I did nothing wrong. I purposely made sure. Because I had already had in the past with the same person a situation that came up. And so I set my boundaries and I told him. And when something was mentioned about her, I said from the beginning, day one, I said, listen, if you still have feelings for this person, then you may need to go see how you feel with them. And then if it doesn't pan out, you know, then we could see each other then. But he reassured me that there was nothing, and she was with somebody else, and now she's engaged to somebody else, the guy that she was living with when she was upset that me and my ex-husband, technically he's my husband. We said our vows. But it's not okay. We cannot push that, because you have no idea how much pain you're inflicting on somebody else. And see, a long time ago, when I was young, I wouldn't have known that. I would have just been like, oh, this guy loves me, especially if I was in a relationship where, like, or a childhood where my parents left and it just seemed normal, because I had this now childhood trauma that had to be healed. You know, if we lead people the wrong way, we're literally setting up generational curses for their bloodline, and we can't do that. We can't. Because if they didn't know their self-worth, they would have no boundaries to say, no, this is not right. I don't want to do this. I don't want to cheat. You know, and a lot of times it takes people a long time to learn this lesson, because somebody won't stand up and say, listen, you deserve to be the only one, not the number one side chick. And we need to start telling young girls and young boys this, that they deserve somebody who is worthy of them. They deserve a good person who will make them a priority, because they are out there. Not just push a narrative on someone that, yeah, you should just stay in this relationship where you're being treated like a side chick and an option, because that's what you deserve, and that's not right. Nobody deserves to be a side chick. Nobody. I don't care who they are. They deserve to be loved fully for who they are, with no one on the side. If you're in a relationship where you're in a polyamorous relationship, this does not apply. That's different. But in this situation where it's a marriage and there's someone else on the outside that was being kept a secret, it's not okay. This person is going to reap so much karma. In fact, I'm going to pull and we're going to see what's going to happen here. I'm going to actually pull. I'm a warning reader. I ain't going to hold shit back. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. I ain't going to tell you, oh yeah, you're going to win. And yeah, you may win. You may break up a marriage. And guess what the karma is from it? We're going to find out. Justice. Look at this. This justice means discerning right from wrong can be a delicate balance. Truth must be grasped. I think it says no matter the cost. The Ace of Cups in this deck means this cup is equally joy and pain, and those who drink it those who dare drink the bitter. So in other words, if you drink of this cup, it's gonna be an equal balance of love and pain. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. This means to pause and to find out what is actually precious and what's not. What is precious to this girl? What is precious to this girl? Because what should be precious to her is her and her self-worth. because she deserves someone who loves her the way that she loves as well. Knight of Wands. The fucking player card. This girl needs to decide what is right and what is important. What is important is herself, her self-worth, learning who she is, transforming with these butterflies here. Because this is a player, and in this deck, it means that they will do what they want to do, and they will not be stopped in anything that they try to do. And the Knight of Wands means this man is for the streets. And we're going to clarify that just to make sure, so that it's not the Knight of Wands in the good way of somebody who just knows what they want. We're going to clarify. Oh, looky here. The Hierophant. The normal Hierophant means marriage. Okay? Which means that this man is a player in marriage. But guess what this also means? This also means that someone is deceptively, like, speaking something in someone's ear to tell them. This card also means even teachers must learn, which I can't say that I haven't as well. Maybe this is God trying to speak to me to say, listen, sometimes even tarot readers have to learn, but they have to learn by someone telling them. And this is me telling you right now, you cannot spread things that are morally wrong, because it's going to hurt the people we are supposed to be helping. Look at this. This Six of Cups means joy of the future cannot be reached because someone is chained to the past. This Six of Cups means this man will not move on and be happy fully with this person because he will be tied to the past, aka his wife that she said he would continue to check on. You only continue to check on someone if you still love them. Okay. This is the Four of Cups. This Four of Cups talks about something being bitter in the access. It says it may taste sweet at the beginning, but that sweet is not to be trusted. As I was saying, when somebody starts something and it's bare minimum when they start, in fact it's kind of insulting to you the way that they make it start, is it going to get better? Look at this. You know how, like, the Six of Swords generally means getting in a boat going to calmer waters? This card does not. As I tell everybody, you can't go by one meaning for all the cards because every deck has a different meaning, and it's a reason why you shouldn't only pull from the Rider-Waite, because you're going to get one message and you're not going to get a roundabout. This card right here, this Six of Swords, means not able to leave. The troubles cannot escape the demons. So someone will never be able to leave their past because they will have known how much they fucked up, and they won't be able to get over the heartbreak that they caused. The Three of Swords. What is the demons that they can't get over? The demons of a heartbreak and a tortured, tormented mind. The song of a tormented mind. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man here. It talks about being torn in between heaven and hell. Being suspended in between heaven and hell. And it talks about, like, sees the whole truth and pays the price for the knowledge. So if this comes out that this person cheated with somebody else, somebody's going to have to pay the price. As what I said, when we cheat, we create karma. When we push people to cheat, when there's a marriage, it's different if they're dating. If they're dating, they're dating. If they have not said their vows to each other, then it is what it is. It's not as bad. But when we started out as there's a marriage, but you will win, that's not okay. That's not where all is fair in love and war should ever be. That should be at the beginning when people are trying to, be the victor and win your heart. Not when I'm going to try to get this person away from their husband or their wife. We can't do that. Look at this. The Emperor. Except this Emperor is the Emperor of what he says is what he says, and it'll be his way or the highway. So if you choose this Emperor, who is not only the one who's of the streets, who will have what he wants, if you don't do what he says, he's going to kick your ass out. More than likely, this Emperor is very manipulative and controlling. Because look, he's already got one wolf here that's howling. Do you want to be his second person who's loyal to him? Or do you want to be the only one who's loyal to the person who actually deserves your heart? That was Aries energy with the Emperor. This is the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. Sorry, that took me a sec. This Chariot, normally the Emperor drives a chariot, and there is one white horse and there's one black horse, which talks about being able to work with two opposing forces, like the masculine and the feminine. But that's not the case here. There's two black horses. That means two feminines. That means two feminine energies are pulling this chariot. In other words, the two of you are pulling this situation along. Maybe the wife knows about the mistress. I don't know. But either way, this talks about triumph comes from the wise use of resources, big changes, or steady control of opposing forces. This is like steady control of opposing forces. This is a masculine who's going to take things steady, and he's going to bat the two of them up against each other so they hate each other, so that he can keep going along with both of them. Because if they hate each other, more than likely they're not going to talk. Don't be one of the horses who pulls the chariot, who pulls the emperor, because that's where the emperor rides. The emperor drives the chariot. So the emperor is purposely pushing two people forward. Us tarot readers who are trying to push the good side, we're trying so hard to get past these third-party situation readings. We're so tired of it because we know that every time we have to read it, someone in our collective is hurting. Someone is hurting. If not, all three people are hurting, and we cannot keep pushing that. That is pushing more pain. We are supposed to be helping the collective awaken. It is the time for the spiritual ascension for the world, and we cannot teach them to go back the opposite way. Now is the time where we have the chance to heal more people than ever before, because there's so much trauma and so much pain in the world, and we can't promote more of it. That's the reason why people believe that tarot's of the devil. Because if we're telling people to cheat on their spouses, then that is of the fucking devil. Like, I feel like somebody needs to sage or cleanse their room and then read the cards, because we can't teach that. We can't push that on people. I don't know. What I do know is that I'm just highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. We have to teach the light. Guys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're listening to any reader, if you're listening to any friend, if you're listening to any counselor, any advisor, anybody, you have to remember, at the end of the day, anybody who gives you advice, they aren't the one who has to pay for the consequences. You are. In this case, readers actually end up paying for the wrong thing that we tell people. We end up reaping back karma too. That's why we have to be. We can't push our side. We can't push our narrative. We have to tell the truth. We have to read what we're actually given, whether it suits our narrative or not, because we will get punished. And we can't do that. And maybe some people don't realize that. But what is that saying? It's like, with great power comes great responsibility. You have more on the line, because a lot of people are going to hear what you have to say, and a lot of people are going to believe you, and a lot of people are going to follow your advice, and if you lead them the wrong way, you can get them hurt. Because I can tell you right now, how many women or men, or do you ever see that is perfectly okay with finding out that their partner was cheating in their marriage? Especially nowadays, with how crazy people are, and with how many of the readers have been pushing, you need to be careful, because if you cheat, this karmic, whichever one of the two, is going to try to unalive the other one. And would you want that blood on your hands? No, you wouldn't. You can't do that, because I even read last night about how someone was going to die. And if it was because of somebody was cheating and that was pushed through another reader, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we literally could tell somebody to do something that will push them into being unalived because it's morally wrong. And God is not in the mood, I don't think, anymore to deal with our bullshit. Because look at it. Look at all the natural disasters right now. He's getting tired of the world's shit. The last time, look at what happened. And guess what? The Euphrates River has dried up. If you follow me on Instagram, I talked about the riders of the pale horse, and then I said, and it was before Queen Elizabeth died, I said Queen Elizabeth is the rider of the black horse. You know, we had, what was it? The rider of the white horse, and was Kim Jong-un, or I'm sorry, I mess his name up. And then we had the Russia leader, who he drove the next horse. And then I said, and if anything happens to Queen Elizabeth, she's the rider of the black horse. And what would come after that? The angels that were below the Euphrates River would come out. Guess what just happened? Queen Elizabeth died. The Euphrates River just dried up. What happens when the Euphrates River dries up? The angels that were locked down there during the flood of Noah, because of all the bad that was on the earth, are going to be unleashed upon the earth. And they are going to call the trumpets, which is going to what? I'm going to let you look up that for yourself. That's in Revelations, okay? But we cannot afford to push the wrong narrative right now. It is the most crucial time, because God said that heaven and earth will fall away for a new heaven and earth. And we have got to prepare this generation of people to do what's right. We have made mistakes, and we have been hurt by mistakes, so that we learn how to do right, so that we can teach people to do right. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, because I really hope that no one hears that and they go with this punishment that I feel that they're going to have if they make the wrong choice. And I really hope that kid doesn't suffer the way that I have a feeling that kid's gonna suffer. If the parents were not together, that would be a completely different scenario. But these people were together in this story, and someone's just coming in the middle. And if it's a daughter, and they see that their dad is off sleeping with other women, how much trust are they going to have in mankind? How much trust are they going to have in men? None. Because if their own father can't do it, if when they grow up, they're going to find a man. And that man is going to do to them exactly what their father did to their mother. Why? Because that will be the father's karma. that's when the father will learn what he did was wrong. That if he was married, that he should have honored that vow. If he never married the mom and he was married to somebody else, he would see how he treats that woman. Or she would see how he treats that woman. Because a father is going to be a child's first learning tool of how to love and how to be loved and what to accept and what not to accept. And we can't teach that. That literally creates a line of karmic kids. If you cheat with somebody while they're in a marriage and you get pregnant, you literally just created a karmic baby. And that kid will grow up and will fucking bring you hell to teach you the lessons that you didn't learn. Like all the lessons that you're supposed to learn growing up that you're probably so hard-headed you wouldn't learn, you're going to learn them with this kid. Like whether they're going to be an asshole or they're going to be super emotional, and you're going to get to see the hard side of it. And I don't wish that on any kid. We have to take responsibility for us. We have to do what's right. If this man doesn't want to be with his wife, he needed to leave her. If he didn't leave her, he's showing that he loves her. Because love is not a fucking feeling. How many times do we have to keep saying this shit? Love is a choice. Love is a choice that you choose to make every fucking day, no matter what your ever-changing feelings are. Love is the choice to say, I will care for that person every day, no matter what I feel about them, no matter if someone will still care about someone when they hate them. They are in love with them. This story that she told, this man is in love with his wife. He is in lust with this woman. He's not in love with her. He's in lust with her. Because our feelings are lust. Our feelings are of the flesh. The choices that we make and how we bring the heart to it, that is of our spirit. That is of our morals. That is of our integrity. That is of our heart. That is the love that we purposely push out into the world. That is of our spirit. That is love. But that is a choice. Because at any point in time, you can choose not to love that person no more. You can't choose to be untrauma bonded with them. You can't choose to be unsoul tied with them, which is what this connection sounds like. Because it's really hard to leave those connections, because when it's a karmic connection, a karmic soulmate, when it is a trauma bond that is highly tied, which happens to be a temptation, or when two people are going through the same thing, if two people don't feel loved, they're going to attract each other and trauma bond to each other. And that is the hardest bond, one of the hardest bonds to break, because it mimics love, but it's not love. It's still lust. It's lust after this person that makes us feel like we're whole. It's lust after being codependent on somebody else. It's not love. Love is a choice. Let me explain this to you. God is love. Jesus is love. Right? Jesus died on the cross. You know that saying that says, if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you could move the mountains. If you keep reading on in that verse, it says But these demons could only be moved with fasting and prayer. And he's talking to Peter and the other disciple, and he's telling them, you have little faith. You know, you were supposed to know by now. You were supposed to have learned this by now. Because they were trying to cast out this demon from this person, and they weren't able to cast this demon out. And Jesus came and said, you have little faith, blah, blah, blah. If you had faith the size of a mustard seed, he said, but this demon can only be cast out with fasting and prayer. But Jesus still, like, just right, flipped the table, so to speak, and got rid, whatever. He still got rid of the demon. But I honestly think that he was upset about it, because they didn't know. They didn't, like, his time was drawing nigh, and they still didn't have enough faith. Now, to the point, he says, but this demon can only be cast out with fasting and prayer. What happens right after this? Jesus goes, because he knows he's going to get betrayed. And he fasts and he prays and he prays and he prays. And then he gets betrayed by Judas. What do you think Jesus was praying for? What do you think he was fasting for? To let this demon pass? Jesus didn't want to die. It was obvious. Jesus didn't want to die. But why did he? Why did he? Because of love. Love is a choice. No matter what our emotions say, love is the choice that we make for someone else, to love them even when they are unworthy to be loved every day. Even when situations change, to still love them every day, whether we are around them or far apart from them, to still love them every day. It is a choice. You can choose to have it or you can choose to lose it. But love is a choice. Lust is the feeling. And we get that confused way too often. And we've got to teach the collective the right way. Anyways, I'm done venting before I start crying. That's what I have for you guys. I hope this helped. Please, please make the right choices, because I don't want you to suffer. I don't want that karma to fall on you. Do the right thing. Take the high road. If this person loves you, he will choose you. Till next time.